I watched Portsmouth 0, Luton Town 0 today, and I have to say it was a huge improvement from that Burnley game last Monday. Here are some of my initial thoughts about the game. I think I should start with some positives because there were many positives to take from the game. First of all, it was great seeing Jordan Clark and Amari Bell on the team sheet today. It really was, especially Amari Bell, because he gives us that balance to the left side of defense and the pace that is obviously so important for the high line that we play when we're playing a three at the back. The whole back three were tremendous today. They really were. Kaminski especially, he mopped up everything that was coming through. As I said, a lot came through. It wasn't a perfect performance by any stretch. Not to take anything away from Portsmouth, a better team would have punished us quite a bit. We were fortunate today. Also, a big shout to Ruel Walters. He was tremendous, and I can see he's going to be an absolutely tremendous player for us. Just a quick word back on Jordan Clark. He was lucky to stay on the pitch because he was getting involved, properly putting his body in the mixer every single challenge. So he was lucky he came away with only a yellow card to his name. Now, a big thanks to Thomas Kaminski, because if it wasn't for Thomas Kaminski, we wouldn't have seen how good James Shea actually still is. What a performance from James Shea, especially that tremendous save right at the death, like to keep the ball out. And sure, there was a little bit of luck about it, but you know, you need a bit of luck in football sometimes. It bounced off a player on the line and we managed to get it clear, but still, James Shea, composed, solid, dependable. Love James Shea, and he's just a tremendous character to still have around the club. Thomas Kaminski, we were very lucky that it was only a second bookable offence, because in reality, if he hadn't been booked for time wasting, it would have been catastrophic to have him missing out for 3 games. Well, I say catastrophic. James Shea showed he can still mix it in this league. And remember, he was Golden Gloves winner in League One in the 2018-19 campaign. So I've still got a lot of love for James Shea. But that tackle from Thomas Kaminski took out the first player, okay. And then he took out the second. Yeah, the ref was completely justified to give him that second booking. But I don't know what that goal kick routine is about. Rob Edwards addressed it in his post-match press conference and said Ted Mengi stood on the ball to see where the gaps would open up. Personally, I don't understand that. Surely you want to play the ball as fast as possible so you can expose while the opposing team are trying to get back into position rather than letting them find their positions. But hey, I'm not a UEFA accredited coach, so what do I know? Also, when we had to switch to a back 4 at the end when Amari Bell went off, I have to say we looked a lot more solid, compact defensively, and I don't know why we can't play a back 4 more often. I think it suits us. I think it would be a very different dimension to our game, considering we currently play with a back 3 and a massive hole in the middle. As I said before, a team that was better than Portsmouth would have absolutely punished us, but fortunately our defence were on hand because they had pace to get back and clean up when needed. We're still a work in progress. It's very telling that we couldn't really make many changes, whereas Portsmouth were bringing off some of their better players. They brought on Matt Ritchie, who's, he can still do a job at this level. Some of his crosses were very dangerous, whereas we didn't really have those options to bring on. One of the options we did bring on who was incredibly effective was Joe Taylor. If Joe Taylor leaves us on a permanent, there'll be uproar because he gives us a completely different dimension. Pace and power through the middle, which we just didn't have otherwise. We tend to rely on crosses into the box. However, Elijah showed pace and power through the middle can be effective. He nearly scored, and that would have been a tremendous goal as well. I do think there's more to come. There is genuinely more to come, and because the squad is just so threadbare at the moment, we need both players coming back from injury. We also need to make new signings, but as I've said, I will reserve judgment on that until the window closes, because I'm sure the club are trying to make some moves. If you've enjoyed this video and all the other content from the We Are Luton Town podcast, please like this video and subscribe to our channel. It's growing so fast right now. And also a big shout out to our audio partners, Blackstar Amplification and Carry On, as well as our podcast sponsors, the Record Shop in Amersham. If you're in Amersham, just tell them we sent you. Mention our name. You might get some money off, you might not. But it's still a great place to go for tons of vinyl. Thank you all for tuning in and have a great evening. As always, come on you Hatters.